everyone, my name is Maya and I am a third-year teacher. I taught 2 years in a traditional classroom and this is my third year teaching now, and I am actually small pod teaching at my home. So I run a little small pod homeschool teaching during these COVID times. Now I know that's a lot different, but because of COVID with jobs and everything got switched around last year, that's a whole nother story which hopefully I can share with you sometime soon in the future, how I got actually into this whole pod teaching arrangement. But for now, what you need to know is I am doing a small pod teaching in an outdoor classroom, which is actually, luckily for me, my very own backyard from my parents' house, actually. So I just wanted to give you a quick little look around of what an outdoor classroom learning environment can look like and how I have set it up for during these COVID times. I teach a small group of kids, 3 kids. I do full-time homeschool with them. The kids are actually still enrolled in the school district, but they're doing an independent study program. So I get all the curriculum from the school, but I set up the whole day of learning for them, and they're with me for 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. We follow the school calendar for holidays and breaks and everything, but otherwise all their learning happens with me in this small outdoor classroom learning environment. So as you can see, I am filming outside to show you the whole outdoors learning environment. So if you hear some background noises, it's just natural nature sounds. So I'll try to lower them a bit in the background, but we'll see how that turns out. So I do those 3 kids full-time homeschool, but also in the afternoons twice a week I have another group of kids, these 3 kids who come to just do some afternoon learning activities like extension activities, some fun hands-on things, because they're doing virtual school online full-time, and the parents and the kids just wanted some like FaceTime and some hands-on time. What's great though is that all the kids that I see, the ones that are full-time homeschool and in the afternoon, are all within the same pod. So they all already see each other, are all in the same little social bubble, which all works out for safety and health concern reasons, of course. Now, the students that I work with in terms of grade levels, I have 2 third graders, 2 girls, and then a second grader for the full-time homeschool. The second grader is actually the little brother of one of the third grade girls, and they are super little, tight little group of friends. In the afternoon, it's the same mix actually, 2 third grade boys and 1 second grader. And I was hesitant at first mixing grades and doing like a mix, but because they're a small group and after I worked with them a little bit separately, I realized that combining them, they're all close enough in reading level abilities and math level abilities, and I was able to create a schedule where I could work in small groups with the different grade levels that it worked out that I could combine them. But I will get more into their whole schedule and everything and how I arrange their full day in a later video, but first I just wanted to show you what an outdoor learning environment classroom looks like and give you that view of what teaching looks like during these COVID times and another way that teaching can happen outside of the traditional classroom. So if you're ready, let's go take a little outdoor classroom tour. Alright, so here we are. I'm going to show you our outdoor learning space for our outdoor classroom. And remember, I am filming outside, so if you hear some background noises, that's just outside natural nature sounds. But let's go ahead and take a look. So if you see here, we do all of our learning. There's this big, wide, white patio table behind me. It looks just like that. And it's the perfect setup because, again, I have 3 kids, so either the kids kind of sit on one side. Usually they all like to sit on the same side, and they'll sit over there, and then I'll either stand like here at the head of the table, just like right over here, and teach them like this, and they sit here, or sometimes they like switch out and switch sides too. And over here is, I'll show you real quick so you can see too, a nice playground that they use, so they get all of that space to play on. Luckily for me, I actually had this playground was made when I was younger, so it's lasted, it stayed up. We actually just got it washed this past weekend, where someone came with like a power hose and sprayed the whole thing down and cleaned it all up and made it look a lot nicer and fixed some of the wood that was falling apart, so now it's a lot safer too, which is great. So they get to do their recess and lunchtime on there. We also have a trampoline, which I'll show you in a moment. But I wanted to take a look back at the learning space, and you'll see here that it's this nice patio space. And so if you look at the patio isn't covered, like it had all these slats. So we came up with this cool idea to put, these are actually just like scarves that we nailed onto the roof to make some shade for when it's really sunny, or when it rains, we would go inside. Luckily, we're in Southern California and it hasn't rained much yet. So, or it hasn't rained while the kids have been here, so we haven't had to deal with that. But these don't block the rain, but they do hold up with the rain because it's rained during winter break and they stayed up and they're fine. They just dry and it makes it look really pretty too. It's kind of like rainbow curtains. It makes it look festive, like at the top. And we just always had those lanterns here. So that helps make shade during the times when we need the shade. And then for supplies, so I have my own little set of teacher supplies. I use one of these. You might have seen these before, these little trays, like these ones from Michael's, right? I think I got it from Michael's, these 3-tier trays. And it's super handy because I can just roll it around the table, you know, because it has the wheels. And I just put like our Can-Av pencils right here, so they always have pencils. And we use some other things too, like we have a jar that we fill with pom-poms, so I put that right at the top. And just other things, so you get little tickets. Well, I'll go more into like exactly what behavior stuff I use with them. But with that, I have all my supplies, like thumbtacks if I need them. At the bottom, I put all the whiteboard stuff. So they have a ton of whiteboards that I use or I use with them too. We have a microphone. I don't know if you've seen one of those, but you can open it up and it's like a electronic microphone. And markers, some books here, and then some markers and just more pencils that they can use in colors and stuff. So this is super handy for me because I can just kind of wheel it around if I need it, or I just walk over and grab what I need out of it. Now for the kids, what's super cool is that I put all their stuff in little book bins for them, and we have a little book bin storage area right over here. All right, so just to help you re-collaborate where you are. So that's where their learning area is, over there. There's the patty on the table. And then here on this side is where they keep their other supplies. So you see here, I gave them each like their own colored bin. So there's 3 of them that come during the day, get these little colored bins, and in them is their book box I can show you, and here they have all their things inside of it. And I can show you real quick like what's inside each one. It's all organized. They get their journal, they have their ELA notebook, they have a science, a math, they keep their own book that either they bring from home, or I have a book bin of stuff that they can choose from too. They keep a book in here for them to read. They each got like their own set of colored pencils to use that they keep in here. And it's just an easy way for them to organize. And then so at the beginning of the day, they get out their book box, they go sit, and then at the end we pack everything back in their book box, and they come back and they place it in their bins right over here. They just have their own little spot. And then down here you'll see there's other supplies too. So they have, I put like some magnet tiles if they want to build and stuff. And oh, my dog just ran by. I don't know if you saw that. And hey, puppy. I have, okay, go, go, go. There's Play-Doh and stuff that they can use, some chalk that we have, beads, other kind of like little popsicle sticks, like those mini erasers, but any other like, oh, a math games tub right here, but any other just materials that they need, like some other extra things I keep out here that I can grab easily. Then indoors, I also have a whole little section where there's other supplies right through those doors that I can just grab easily inside. Here we also have some tables where they can just, we put stuff like crafts to dry. We're making snow this week, which I will share a little bit about with you later. I'll do a video about our snow week and some activities that we did. Like we also made these borax crystals. So here's, they just set some stuff to dry. And here I always put out a bin of books for them to read through. I change them out about once a week, so every week. Sometimes I leave some in, sometimes I switch them out earlier or leave some in longer, depending on how they like them or how long they are. So I always put a mix of like chapter books or like, you know, more early readers or chapter books for them to read, and then a mix of picture books because they also love picture books, and there's a lot of great picture books to be read out there. So usually they fit within our theme. So this week we're doing a lot of winter snow stuff, or sometimes there's just some random ones in here too. There's some MLK stuff, some biographies, and they just get to sort through this or go through it whenever they have independent reading time during their centers. This is just like a little fun swing set that they can swing on if you see it moves. Usually we change, we haven't changed it yet, but this usually will change the banner. And just a quick look at like the garden area. They're surrounded by all these plants everywhere, and it's fun because we have these little animal statue lights, like these butterflies and all these animals, the little frog. I love just like looking at the little animals in the garden, even though they don't move. They're like, oh my gosh, look, it's alive, or it moved a little bit. It's cute. And actually, one of my kids got me this little garden gnome for Christmas over winter break, actually, and so I'm gonna be moving it around. It's one of the afternoon kids, so he comes Tuesdays, Fridays, and I'll move it around every Tuesday and Friday and see if he can find it. That was super cute. His reasoning was, this is just funny, that he wanted to get me that because he realized from the garden that I really like plants and things that sit next to the plants. And so I was like, okay, I guess that is an accurate statement. And so he got me a little garden gnome. Super cute. So if I'm teaching a whole class lesson, then we will all do it all together over here with the whole group of us. But if they're doing individual work, it's really nice to have this whole outdoor space because I let them sit where they want to sit. So they get really creative with it too. A lot of times we like to sit over here on those benches over there because that's also where the sun comes out during the day. And they'll lie down on the benches and they'll do work there. Sometimes if they're just doing silent reading, I'll let them go find a place to sit on the playground. And they like to sit on top of like that blue thing over there on that tree trunk that rests on top of it. They like to sit on top of the tree trunk, which is really cute to just see them find their own places. So I'll take you around to see the rest of the outdoor spaces. It's pretty neat, but this is where we have our fire pit area. And we have made a fire before. We made like s'mores and stuff, or had like this little fire ceremony before Thanksgiving break, which was really fun. So we also have this chicken that they love, and her name's Pepper. She's right over here. And sometimes they let them go inside. There's like a little gate right here. They can go inside. But there's Pepper. And what they like to do is they like to sit on the ground right in front of Pepper's cage right there. And they like to sit and do their journal there. Just like sit right next to the chicken. Which I think is pretty sweet because they just like, you know, having time next to the animals, which they really enjoy. But it's super cute. So they'll get the journal and they'll sit right there. And I think it's fun to have like that flexible seating option. Over here, you'll see we have a trampoline, which is also super popular. They like to read on the trampoline sometimes. Also great for recess and lunchtime, just for some free time. This is the playground. We just got some new wood on it over here. They have tunnels. They love going up to the top and just like playing adventures. They make up all sorts of make-believe games. It's very fun. The bridge is fun if you jump on it. And this is the tree part I was telling you about. They can climb up to this little tree part and stand on the top. And then they like to sit on this tree that's right up here and do some reading. And my dog isn't inside when they're learning just because it's distracting and don't want to worry about anything happening with the dog. So the dog likes to sit right outside the gate. There he is. And they like to sit at the top of the castle right there on the tree, and they can like see the dog by looking down below. So here behind me, you can see more of our outdoor learning space. So that's all how it looks like. You know, it has the big table, those curtains at the top where we sit, then again where we can play and have other areas for our learning. And I just love the environment. Again, it feels a lot safer because we're outdoors too. There's not too many of us, but just creates like a whole different learning environment. And I think learning environment is so important for kids. Like really, you want to have them in a space where they want to be creative and they feel like happy and outdoors. Like how great is it to get to learn outside, close to animals, with each other. I know they're not with the whole class, so they're missing that social aspect, but at least they have each other. And it's really fun for me. And I don't know if you'll probably have some questions. If you want to put them in the comments, I'll answer. So again, I'm so excited to start sharing some more with you. I'll be sharing about kind of our schedule, how it works, since I make up the whole schedule because it's just me kind of designing this whole school day for them. I decide when recess is, when lunch is, how to break up their day. I'll tell you all about that and about the curriculum and what resources we're using. Share with you our weekly lesson plan so you can maybe do some of the crafts and activities that we do. I have a lot of book recommendations to share also, so stay tuned, my friends. And until next time, happy learning.